Hello, everyone. Yes, it is great to be here once again. My name is Atinuke Yumi. I'm the Chief Learning Officer at Life Inspired Academy. Yes, you may have been a part of our programs before or not. What we are doing today, we call it Get Your Energy On, Get Your Results Faster. And by faster here, we're not talking about blind speed. Rather, we're trying to say that with a lot more engagement, focus, and commitment, you actually could get remarkable result in lesser time. All right. So we have a pertinent question that we often ask at Life Inspired Academy. And what's that question? We say, how do we stimulate right action taking? And how do we effectively coordinate our efforts so that we can gain and maintain momentum in the right direction? This is a very heavy question, and you need to distill it to, be able to come up with how many things we're actually asking you here. So Harvard Business School professor Bill George, in his book, Discover Your True North, was talking about the fact that everybody has a direction they should go in. And that right direction is just the right direction for you, and it may not be the right direction for another person. So one of the things that I have personally observed is that a lot of people struggle with getting what that direction is. And as a matter of fact, they may be taking action, but they may not be taking action in the right direction. So we are very intense when it comes to encouraging people to take action, but not just take action, coordinate their efforts, and of course, make sure there is momentum and rightfully said in the right direction. So I'll go into what we have today for you. And I'm going to ask you, do you believe that action changes things? I'm sure your answer may be yes. But do you ever find yourself procrastinating endlessly over certain actions that even you know could be life-changing? Do you have dreams? Do you have ideas that you could act upon? But you just find yourself procrastinating over and over. So we want to look at certain things that stop us from taking action, okay? Regardless of how much we believe those actions can actually help us. Another powerful book written by still one of Harvard's professor, Jim Luhar and Tony Schwartz. They call it The Power of Full Engagement. I'm sure some of us have read this book, The Power of Full Engagement. And the gist in this book really is that energy, not your time, is the fundamental currency of getting things done. Okay, you can have all of the time in the world, but the quality of energy that you bring to your tasks would actually determine how well you get on with them. I'll share from this book one of the concepts, the dynamics of energy. Just take a look at this and try to find yourself here. When you have high negative energy, that's usually very unpleasant. You're often angry, fearful, anxious, defensive, resentful. When you're low on negative energy, you're often depressed. Okay, you are burnt out, you feel exhausted, sometimes hopeless, sometimes defeated. Okay, that's really, about the lowest low. That's the point people get to sometimes before, they just decide to commit suicide. That's when they feel despondent, yeah. So on the other side, you could also have, high positive energy, which means you often feel invigorated, you feel confident, you feel challenged to take on new tasks, you feel joyful, you feel connected. And if you're low on positive energy, it's not a bad thing. You're relaxed, you're taking it easy, you're peaceful, there's tranquility and serenity. So these are the dynamics of energy. What next do we want to see? I call this managing your personal energy. Okay, it's a course that we take at Life Inspired Academy, personal energy management. And we look at the 4 dimensions of energy of every human being. Where do you derive your energy from? You have spiritual energy. I'll talk a bit on this. People believe so much in religion. That's great. But religion is just one component of spirituality. There's several other things that make us spiritual. Our ability to connect to ourselves makes us spiritual. Our ability to connect to humanity makes us spiritual. There's several things there. Faith, right? Inner peace. So there's some things that you do that give you spiritual energy. And I'm going to explain as it concerns what we're talking about here. Also, you have mental energy. There is that energy that comes as a burst when you're focused on something and you can get it done. You have emotional energy. We're going to see where it comes from. And then, of course, everybody knows that we have physical energy. So let's look at spiritual energy. I said before that when you're fully connected to what you do, when what you do resonates with your being, you have an innate ability for it. Thereby, I often say that when you're graced for something, okay, that there are different types of grace. We have the grace of God, yes. Also, when you have a gift to do something effortlessly, we say you're graced for it. You have a component of spiritual energy. And this is the part where you can find out that you go on and on and on, and no matter how tired you get physically, you can just keep going. Even though we're still going to talk about how, you shouldn't burn yourself out when you enjoy what you love doing. So I want to ask you, all of those things that you put off, that you've been procrastinating over, do you think that you're connected to them in any way? You want to check. And if you're not, you may want to find those things that once you lay your hands on them, you know from within that, this is my true north. This is my direction, because everything in me resonates with what's happening here. All right, let's talk about mental energy. Earlier on, I talked about focus. Do you know that your ability to get things done is determined by how committed you can stay on that thing? Think about athletes and how they're so committed to what they do. These people live to practice, right? They practice most of the time and only get to perform once in a while. That's a lot of concentration. So you want to ask yourself, are you able to focus? If you're not able to focus, you want to identify what drains your mental energy. This is just an abridged version of this course, and I will not be able to go into full details, but I'll talk a little later on about how you can benefit from the full course. So you should find what drains your mental energy. It could be that you don't feel fulfilled in your relationships. It could be that you're feeling guilty, maybe about not spending enough time with your family. There's so many things, lots and lots of things that really can drain your mental energy. Let's quickly talk about emotional energy. This is broad, okay? And you can get your emotional energy from having great relationships. And of course, on the flip side, when you have toxic relationships, they drain your emotional energy. But let's talk about the tasks that you need to perform. If you're confident about what you want to do, what you do is that you turn a threat into a challenge. And you say, hey, come to think of it, I'm not even scared of this, bring it on. Okay, you challenge yourself to take on that task. And remember that that confidence must come from somewhere. I'll connect this to mental energy. You'll soon see that there's an overlap in all of these dimensions. If you want to do something, let's say you want to start a business, or you want to go into, a new career path, or you even have a major task at work, something you haven't done before. Initially, you may feel scared. But you know that if you just research and get some knowledge in that direction, suddenly you have springs in your steps. Suddenly you feel like, oh, I can take this on. So that confidence is linked to, we call it self-efficacy. You're not just courageous, but you know that you have an idea of what you're doing. A lot of things that you have put off, you have put them off because you didn't have enough knowledge. So you want to try this and see how your confidence boosts your ability to get things done. I need to move. All right, so let's talk about physical energy. Yes. When athletes are preparing to do their thing, they never take their health for granted. Somebody was talking about visiting Ronaldo, the footballer, once, and how when he got to his house, he saw how the guy was eating selectively. Leaves, chicken, right? He wasn't burdening his system with food that would weigh him down. And he said, after eating for a while, he got up and said, yeah, you can, follow me to the courtyard. I need to practice. He couldn't sit down there to waste his time. Justin, he was practicing most of the time. They take things seriously, more seriously. But you see that many knowledge workers really do not pay attention. Sometimes you don't fuel your body. You don't eat. Or rather, you may be ingesting things that are not giving nutrition to your body and giving you nutrients, as the case may be. So how do you get your physical energy? What you eat, how much good that food does to your body, how well you rest, how well you sleep, and a host of other things. Yes, so exercise also is one of them. Remember I said this is an abridged version. This is a long course. Actually, it's part of our package that we call the 360 Degrees Intelligence Personal Masterclass. Okay, so we would move on here, and I'm going to go back to that question that I asked before. How do we stimulate right action taking and effectively coordinate our efforts so that we can gain and maintain momentum in the right direction? How can we do that? We need to make changes that last. And for you to make changes that last, it requires a 3-step process. You must define purpose. This is where spiritual energy comes. Anything that you choose to do, make sure you're connected to it. You must face the truth. Okay, if you have gone in the wrong direction for so long, please do not just continue. Do not tell yourself, anyway, maybe this is what life has to offer me. I am telling you that your past is never longer than the future, regardless of how many years more you have to live. So what I'm saying in essence is that you can make the rest of your life the best. Face the truth. Do course correction if you have to, and then, of course, take action. So let me remind you that we started this session by asking you, are there actions you know you should take? Even you know that those actions would be life-changing, but you've been putting them aside and procrastinating over and over. It may be because you don't have enough energy, maybe spiritual energy, maybe mental energy, maybe emotional or physical energy. You want to ask yourself, and please get on the track to taking the right action. I'm going to stop here. I want to believe you gained something. If you did, please reach out to me on this number on the screen. And then you can also check our website, www.lifeinspiredacademy.org. This is that program that I told you about, building a future-ready and fulfilling career with 360 degrees intelligence, personal effectiveness masterclass. Yes, we're having this again in June, and it starts exactly a month from now. You will want to plan. I will encourage you to invest in yourself and be a part of this course. You will gain more than your investment. Right. The program is not for anyone, for everyone, rather. It isn't for everyone. It is actually just for those people who see the need for growth, who see the need to take action and get more deliberate, get more intentional about getting the best out of themselves. All right. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Enjoy your day.